What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. It is 2025. Damn, already. Most of y'all know me as Kobe DTM. When I tell all celebrity shit, the rest of y'all that don't know me, y'all probably want to go check that out. But my real name is Jacoby. You do not need to know my middle or my last name because that ain't none of your motherfucking business unless I know your motherfucking ass. You heard? No, let me stop. I'm such an asshole. But listen, on that, I talk celebrity stuff, all that, my opinions on celebrities. But over here, I started a book club because I want to read more books. Not that I want to read books, I want to educate y'all because some of y'all need the education. Probably a few of y'all. But no shade, no shots. But let's move on now. If y'all know me from the other YouTube channels, sometimes I keep my little sister. And she's a smart little girl, but she's loud and she's bad. So don't mind her. So the first book we're going to be reading is LL Cool J's I Make My Own Rules with Karen Hunter. This is his autobiography. Now let me tell y'all something. This autobiography was released in 1997. So this is 28 years old. 28 years old. And another thing. I can't motherfucking read y'all the whole book because I don't got time for LL Cool J talking to the YouTube telling them that you know what I mean, and then YouTube send me a strike on my page. I don't got time for that shit. All right, the book again, if you didn't hear, because you over there listening to the baddies, watching the baddies. LL Cool J's I Make My Own Rules, his autobiography with his editor, Karen Hunter. Again, if you ain't here again, I can't read the whole book to you because I don't have time for YouTube emailing me talking about you got a strike because you're doing copyright shit. I don't own no copyrights. Again, YouTube, before you try to send me a copyright, y'all should watch the video. I don't own copyrights to this book. Okay, let's start. The first chapter is called The Curdle. LL Cool J says, it took 4 hours of labor, sweating, and pacing. 4 hours of sterning, thinking, and writing. I put on the OJs and went to the bathroom. I put on Grandmaster Flash, 12-inch, and laid down on the floor. I put on the Furious 5 and looked out the window. I was in North Babylon, Long Island, in the living room of my mother's house alone, and making what turned out to be one of the biggest decisions of my life, whether or not to change my rap name from J Skeet to Cool J. Around this time, it seemed like every other rapper had a Skeet at the end of their name. There was Love Bud, Starsky, Busy B, Starsky, Mike Skeet, and a whole bunch of Skeets. I wanted to be different. I don't know how we already on 3 minutes. All right, so pause. LL Cool J, if you don't know what Long Island is, that's in New York. LL Cool J is from New York City. This is 1982. Now, mind everybody, if you need the history, this is around the time that hip-hop started to become, famous in the communities. Hip-hop did not become international until, the 90s because people started to respect rappers such as African-American rappers. So this is the thing about LL Cool J. Well, he's basically saying, listen, I want to be different. And that's a good motherfucking thing. And I think, and sidebar, I think it's a good thing to be different from other people, because especially with niggas. Niggas do anything, some niggas do anything another nigga tell them to do because they don't have their own mind. And I don't fuck with niggas that don't have their own mind. Because if that nigga go tell you he gonna jump off, he finna jump off the damn roof, you gonna jump off the roof with his ass? Weirdos. Let's continue. J Ski just wasn't getting it. But I was feeling like Cool J. To me, Cool would never be played out. It seemed like Cool has been around since the beginning of time. Each generation used Cool. And it still will Cool. So after going through this long process, I gave birth to Cool J. I spent all night going through my school notebooks in a small suitcase full of scraps paper that I had written raps on. Each place I had written J Skeet I erased it and wrote Cool J. To me, that was making it final, like getting married. I had made the kind of commitment to Cool J. I had to go check on what she was doing. All right, let's continue because we got to get through this. I couldn't wait to go chill up on Margaret Boulevard with my homeboys and try out my new tag. I couldn't wait to go chill up on Margaret Boulevard with my homeboys and try out my new tag. The first person I told about it was my man, Playboy, Mikey D. Now, pause again. You can't say shit like that about your homeboy because in this generation, I'm a part of Gen Z. They think that shit is gay. I don't know how. It's just everything about today is oversexualized. My man, he talking about his homeboy, but you weirdos that's inappropriate and childish gonna think he talking about a nigga that LL Cool J ain't gay, and I'm not trying to make it seem like he's gay, but you know what I'm saying. Playboy Mikey D, who I used to write rhymes with. I like that Cool J, he said, but you need something in front of it. Something like Playboy, how about Ladies Love? That's what LL Cool J means, Ladies Love Cool J. I looked at him and started smiling. Yeah, Ladies Love Cool J. It was working. I kept letting it roll off my tongue. Ladies love Cool J. Ladies love Cool J. I like the feel of it. I always thought it was Pardex, because the ladies was definitely not feeling me then. I was 14, and I was either a pain in the ass to girls who simply didn't exist. The ladies were hating J Ski, but I figured if I turned it all around, maybe the ladies would love Cool J. It took 2 days of labor and love, but in 1982, somewhere between Long Island and Queens, LL Cool J was born. Pause again. So LL Cool J, Mikey D done told him, listen, you need to change your name. You don't need to change your name. You need to put something in front of them shit. Now, LL Cool J is like, most rappers, the most famous people. Like Biggie or, I don't know. Females didn't start feeling them until they got to the money. Now, mind you, Biggie said that he had a couple of females. But soon as he got in a rap game and blew up, the females was all on his tip. Now, he had Lil' Kim, he had his baby mama, he had Faith Evans. I think we're going to read the Faith Evans book next. But, he said, LL Cool J said the ladies weren't feeling them. Shit, females are just weird sometimes. They just want a nigga that, never mind, I digress in that. Alright, so now we finna get into his childhood. Physically, I came into being 14 years earlier as James Todd Smith. That's his government name. It was right around Christmas 1967 at about 2 in the morning on a Saturday. The brand new Burke 225 was swerving down Pioneer Drive 2 blocks from Southern State Parkway in Bayshore, Long Island. My father, James Smith, was driving. A chocolate brown man with thick muscles and curhuse hair slicked back with curtailing. He was cursing at my mother, Audrey, and is silent. They had been at a party where he had cursed her of flirting with another man. First of all, that's some Cardi B shit. Why the fuck when you pregnant? And LL Cool J, leave me alone now. Why is it that your mama was pregnant with you, LL Cool J, flirting with another man? That's some Cardi B shit. Because mind you, sidebar, again, Cardi B around there sleeping with a man while she pregnant with Offset baby. You a disgusting ass slut. But I digress. All right. What was that? Because I'm giving my company. She was looking good that day in a light green satin dress with a lace collar. Her dark hair hung off her shoulders. Her honey colored face was made to perfection. It got so bad at the party that my mother actually picked up a pair of sewing scissors and tried to stab him. So they had to leave, but they fought on the way to the car and continued to battle at my father as my father drove off. All right, pause again. So they're probably young. I don't know how old his mama was, but this is how typically young relationships are. And I'm not making fun of domestic violence, so don't nobody think I'm making fun of domestic violence. You either got the man beating on the woman, beating her ass, or you got the man and the woman fighting. Mostly, it's a lot of females out here that fight back or, put their hands on a nigga first. And I tell she's playing. Like I was saying, it's a lot of females out here that put their hands on a man first, and then when a man smack their motherfucking ass, they want to cry and play the victim and, call police. You cannot put your hands on a man because you think you a woman. Because listen, when that nigga smack the fuck out you, and I'm not condoning this shit, your motherfucking ass must be sitting up there crying. And that's the problem with you females. Some of y'all. Don't put your hands on that motherfucking nigga if you don't want him to put his hands on you. Everybody keep their motherfucking hands to themselves. How about that? I digress. What the hell were you looking at him for? He growled. Now this is Daddy talking to his mama in the car. Jimmy, what are you talking about? Stop talking crazy. Who you calling crazy? He started to slap her, leaving more than one imprint of his hand on her face. She kept swearing at him, but by now she was crying. He kept cursing at her, calling her all kinds of things a real man shouldn't call his wife. Pause. That's a bitch ass nigga. And LL Cool J, forgive me for calling your daddy a bitch ass nigga. And this is just me, I don't get that. If your baby mama or girlfriend is pregnant with your child, again, LL Cool J, forgive me for calling your daddy a pussy ass nigga. Why is he smacking his baby mama that's 8 months or 9 months pregnant? Why is he smacking her in the face? And number two, this is the thing again, young relationships. I know I'm young and young relationships are toxic. Why? Let's move on. The brown Burt began to swerve as it approached the off-ramp of the southern state. When my mother opened the door, the car was going about 30 miles per hour. I'm getting out of here, she said, hoping he would come to his senses. Well, get out there, my father said. Swinging at my mother again with one hand and trying to steer with the other one, she ended up in a highway, cold, scrapped up, and dirty in her new green dress. Oh yeah, she was also 9 months pregnant with me. Again, LL Cool J, forgive me for calling your daddy a bitch ass nigga. That's a bitch ass nigga. I don't give a fuck how old you is. You could be 20, 30, 40. Why would you have your 9 months pregnant girlfriend? First, again, you slapping them. And then when she said, first, I don't give a fuck what type of argument y'all having. Why would you let your 9 months pregnant girlfriend get out the car, stop, and snow on Christmas? And then he told her, his daddy told her, well, if you gonna get out, get out. I would have told her, girl, get your ass back in this car. I don't have time. I don't give a fuck if we was arguing. Girl, get your ass back in this car. Again, LL Cool J, forgive me, but your daddy was a bitch ass nigga. She was also 9 months pregnant with me. I was born at 8:46 p.m., January 14th, 1968, at Southside's Hospital in Bayshore. I weighed 7 pounds, 4 ounces, and my right arm was paralyzed. Maybe it was from my mother rolling out the car while she was pregnant. Maybe it was from four skirts the doctor used to pull me out of her womb. Maybe it was just one of those things. But one thing for sure, the nerves in my right arm was damaged. By the time I came home from the hospital, my mother had forgiven my father again. He somehow convinced her that he didn't mean to go off on her, that he would never go ill on her again. Niggas always say that, especially a crazy ass nigga. Like, what was I watching the other day? I was watching Medea's family reunion. Y'all know when Carlos, when they in the scene where they at the house, he was like, I'm sorry, Lisa, I would never do it. They always say they're gonna never do it again. Of course a nigga gonna do the shit again. He just talking. Crazy ass niggas. He said he wanted us to be a family, but like most of his promises, the frame of mind didn't last long. He even used my bad arm as an excuse to yell at my mother. You can't even have a healthy baby, Angie, he would say. Look at him. Maybe if you weren't so stupid, he'd be okay. My mother observed this, but she never paid much attention. She knew she didn't deserve it, and she loved me. She used to lotion me down every night until I looked like a little greased pig. And when she put me to bed, she would dress me in a onesie and pin my sleeve to the mattress. So whenever I tried to move, I would be forced to exercise my bad arm after a few months. Waved my arm for the first time. Within a year, I had gotten so strong I was almost perfect. Just the way my life appeared from the outside. Pause. This book, LL Cool J, what he's writing in this book really says to me that, and this is a common fact, is, and I get this, I was watching somebody, a therapist that said this, things, and this is what she said, the therapist said, things that happened while you was in your mother's womb will show up in your life. So whatever happened, and this might sound crazy to you, but whatever situation your mother was in when she was pregnant with you will show up in your life. Take that note. We back. After I was first born, we lived in a tiny house in Brentwood, Long Island. Of course, I didn't remember it, but my mother told me it had a small living room that you enter as soon as you came in the front door. There was a heating girt in the front of the entryway where she would dry clothes by hanging them over a chair. 2 bedrooms, one for my parents and one for me, were right off the living room. It was all on one level and looked like a little dollhouse. In less than a year, the Jeffersons were moving on up to a bigger house in Bayshore. My father had gotten a loan through the Veterans Administration, and he had got a great deal on the high ranch. This is the house I remember. It had a big yard in front and one in the back, and there was always people over, family mostly. Music was a big part of the house. I'm spitting and shit. Music was a big part of the house too. My father used to write songs and he played the keyboard. He even had a record label at one time. He always wanted to be a musician, and my mother loved listening to music. She used to play her 8-track tapes in 78s, the OJs, the Main Intelligence, Howard, Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Whispers. We always had a nice stereo system. Now, okay, again, LL Cool J was born in the 60s, so of course they didn't have fucking iPads and, speakers and YouTube. They had the little record player. Like I said, I'm going to read the whole book to y'all, because I'm going to end this video, but I'm going to go over past all the shit and go to this. Hold on. Here we go. From the outset, we were an all-American family with the house in Long Island, a dog, and a cute little kid. But the inside, the house was pure hell because my father was a straight-up Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. To almost everyone around him, he was Mr. Responsible, a family man who was taking care of business. He and my mother were the perfect couple. They partied, went out and entertained. Pause. What LL Cool J basically was saying that his parents was like most people. They put up this image in public, but behind the scenes, behind closed doors, everything wasn't so perfect. That's what most people do. They try to make it couples. I mean, they try to make it seem like they're in love and they have the best life, but on the inside, it's toxic. But my grandfather wasn't fooled. Now, this is his mama's daddy. He hated my father, and he hated the way he treated my mother, his only daughter, his only child. So, I mean, this kind of runs. LL Cool J is the only child, so I guess I don't know. Pops would show up to my grandparents' house looking like a pimp. Hat caught to the side, stop. A cigarette hanging out the corner of his mouth. That's so I hate when motherfuckers have to sit like, oh, I can't stand motherfucking squares. Oh. He always has something smart or ignorant to say. My parents met in 1966 at Pilgrim State Hospital, where they were both nurses assistants. My pops had just gotten out of the Navy, and my mother was studying to become a nurse. My mother thought my father was like one of those romantic guys she used to read about or dream up listening to her Marvin Gaye record. No, that's not Marvin Gaye. Sexual Healing. I love that Marvin Gaye song. At the time, my pops was a sharp dresser. He always seemed to have a pocket full of money. He was always working or starting a business. He always had a nice car. Oh my God. Them the motherfuckers. Diddy. That's that Diddy shit. Diddy. Some of these niggas get money and they think they powerful and they think they gonna put that's LL Cool J. Your daddy seemed like a Diddy type of nigga. I'm just saying. That year, it was a 65 Mustang. Mustang Sally was the popular song. My father loved to sing that song, drove and drive his car. They got married a year later. There was no ceremony, no bridesmaids, no ring bearers, no flowers, no nothing. Most black people, and I don't know, most black people, pause, get married at the courthouse. I mean, it's faster. I mean, weddings could be stressful. And especially the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. That shit is just, alright, anyways. No, nothing. They found some minister on straight path and wide drenched to perform the marriage. My father wore a pair of blue slacks and a shirt with big lamps. My mother had black ski and a pink sweater, like they were going to dinner or the movies or something. My father left the hospital to take a job driving a truck, which paid twice as much. But the extra money, all the entertainment they did not make them happy. The fighting between them was off the hook. Excuse me, I read too fucking fast. Every night it was another round. They would fight over the dumbest things. One time my pops wanted to get a loan to buy a truck and moms didn't think it was a good idea. I don't know why I got great or good from, but leave me alone now, leave me alone. Pause. Another thing that I hate about New York people, they call their mama moms. The fuck is that? Your mama. Call the bitch by a real name. Don't do that shit, because some parents don't like that shit. Moms didn't think it was a great idea, so he choked her for not co-signing his plan. Again, here we go. It was like he couldn't discuss his feelings, and he had to get violent. And there I am, right in the middle. I hated my life sometimes. Now, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day, everybody.